Since young, I've been passionate about community service and helping others. My friends who have relationship problems always come to me for advice. In 2004, having observed that many of my colleagues at the bank were single and not dating, I decided to start a dating service to help singles find love. In the last 14 years, we have gone through many ups and downs. When I'm feeling down, I would always look at the folders with all the photos of our successful couples, photos of our lunch actually marriages, the lunch actually babies, and the family units that they have created. This have kept me going all these years, knowing that there's a purpose in what we are doing and there's a purpose in what we are creating. I believe that there's no other industry as fulfilling as the dating and relationships industry because we make such a huge impact in a person's life. We not only help them find a date, we are helping them to find their lifelong happiness. Our work does not only change one person's life, but it will impact generations to come. I've been blessed with a happy marriage and a wonderful family. It's my personal mission to help others find the happiness that I found.
Meet Jamie and Violet. They crossed paths while she was running for a president of Student Society in the University of Manchester. Jamie was a serious and quiet finance student. Violet was a bubbly and cheerful law student. At first, they couldn't be further away from each other's type. Jamie has always dated the traditionally feminine and petite girls. Violet wanted someone talkative who's the life of the party. However, the more they saw each other, the more they were attracted to each other's characters. Jamie admired Violet's confidence and positivity. Violet realized that she could balance her energy with his calmness. They dated, got married, had 2 beautiful children, and started Lunch Actually. If Jamie and Violet didn't try something new, they wouldn't have found their happiness, created a family, and brought together thousands of happily married couples. Try something new to meet someone amazing. Meet Ben and Chris. Chris is a lawyer, Ben is a juggler and a unicyclist. They were single and looking for love, but both were leading a different life. They have 0 friends in common, vastly different social circle, contrasting routines, and no chance to meet up. They were living within their own comfort zone. When we proposed the match, Chris refused to meet Ben, thinking they would have nothing in common. His profile was nothing like the men she has previously dated. We knew otherwise. Having met both of them in person, we knew that they have compatible life values and a similar sense of humor. With much persuasion from our dating consultants, she eventually agreed to meet him. When they finally crossed paths and met up for the first time, they told us they got on like a house on fire. If Chris didn't try something new, she wouldn't have gotten engaged, married, and have 2 wonderful children. Try something new to meet someone amazing. Meet Jason. He's a 34-year-old man who's single and looking for love. Jason has a successful, high-paying career, but he was so focused on his work that he did not put in the time for dating or his appearance. As a result, his wardrobe was plain and he mainly wore baggy clothes, not impressing the ladies. However, despite his demanding lifestyle, Jason has a heart of gold, and in the little time he had to spare, he volunteered at the Cancer Society to help the less fortunate. Only one thing was missing. He still wished he had someone to share his life with. Our dating coach worked with him to improve on his grooming and showed him the types of clothes and colors that complement his body and personality. Having matched and coached tens of thousands of singles, our coach also helped Jason in understanding the opposite gender and how to attract them. With this newfound dating confidence, Jason went on one fateful date, and this time they hit it off. He's now in a relationship with the girl of his dreams. In addition, more people also noticed his transformation, and he was given even more growth opportunities as he carried himself with more confidence and charisma. If Jason didn't try something new, he wouldn't have achieved this life-changing breakthrough, both personally and professionally. Try something new to discover something amazing.
Since young, I've been passionate about community service and helping others. My friends who have relationship problems always come to me for advice. In 2004, having observed that many of my colleagues at the bank were single and not dating, I decided to start a dating service to help singles find love. In the last 14 years, we have gone through many ups and downs. When I'm feeling down, I would always look at the folders with all the photos of our successful couples, photos of our lunch actually marriages, the lunch actually babies, and the family units that they have created. This has kept me going all these years, knowing that there's a purpose in what we are doing and there's a purpose in what we are creating. I believe that there's no other industry as fulfilling as the dating and relationships industry because we make such a huge impact in a person's life. We not only help them find a date, we are helping them to find their lifelong happiness. Our work does not only change one person's life, but it will impact generations to come. I've been blessed with a happy marriage and a wonderful family. It's my personal mission to help others find the happiness that I found.
Meet Jamie and Violet. They crossed paths while she was running for a president of Student Society in the University of Manchester. Jamie was a serious and quiet finance student. Violet was a bubbly and cheerful law student. At first, they couldn't be further away from each other's type. Jamie has always dated the traditionally feminine and petite girls. Violet wanted someone talkative who's the life of the party. However, the more they saw each other, the more they were attracted to each other's characters. Jamie admired Violet's confidence and positivity. Violet realized that she could balance her energy with his calmness. They dated, got married, had 2 beautiful children, and started Lunch Actually. If Jamie and Violet didn't try something new, they wouldn't have found their happiness, created a family, and brought together thousands of happily married couples. Try something new to meet someone amazing.
Hi guys, good evening. How are you feeling? Welcome to our weekly webinar. Very happy to see so many familiar faces here. So please feel free to say hi in the chat right now. We'd like to see who else is here. I see Gladys. I see Ishadi Chong. Yeah, so thanks for those who have joined us, like so early. I see Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Hi, Raj. Hi, William. Hi, Sophia. Awesome. Yeah. So how has your week been so far? Have you had a good week? Have this been an easy week, tough week? How has it been so far for you? So for me, it has been quite an interesting week. So I just had a strategy retreat with my senior management today, and looking forward to have our management retreat next week. So, like the year is coming to an end, like time really flies. I can't believe it. It's already like 19 November, and before we know it, it's Christmas. So have you guys already put up the Christmas tree at home, or like is the Christmas tree at the office up? So I just put up mine at home, I think maybe sometime last week. So, and then I'm already hearing Christmas carols when I'm out and about. So that's really nice. So how have you guys been? Okay, let me see. I see that Purple say it has been a busy week. Wow. Okay, so a very busy week at work. Like what are you guys doing with your leave? Because I understand that usually we use our leave to go on vacation, right? But of course now with the current situation, like are you going for any staycation, or are you bringing forward your leave? Yeah, let us know. So what are you guys up to, and what how do you plan to maybe spend your last 6 weeks of the year for 2020? Okay, so like while I am seeing some of you sharing with us your week so far. Hi Evelyn, hi Alex, hi Galaxy. Okay, I don't think that's your name, but maybe you just want to change it to your name. Okay, so I just want to hear from you guys as well. Like, is this actually your first time joining us? So, okay, I'm just like using all of this to just make sure you know how all the different things work during our webinar. So, okay, there's the chat where I see, like you guys are like saying hi here, hi Lil. Yeah, and then I've just put out the poll as well, because just want to let you know that generally we like it to be fairly interactive. So just want to find out, like I do see a lot of familiar names that I say, but do we have people who are joining us for the first time? So let us know in the poll right now. I already put the poll out. You should see it right in front of you. So let us know. Okay, a lot of people have already voted. So I mean, while the numbers are coming in, I can just share with you. So quite a good balance today, actually. We kind of have like 1/3 of you guys who are new. Like you're joining us for the first time, and then we have another 1/3 that have attended like maybe 1 to 2 webinars, and then another 1/3 that have attended 5 or more. So awesome. So a very good balance, of the people who are joining us for today. Okay, so for newcomers, like I'll just give you a very, very warm welcome, of course. And like I mentioned, our webinar is designed to be interactive during the hour. So we do not want to be those webinars where it's like kind of boring, and then like just kind of like one person or 2 people just keep droning on and on and on and just talking about themselves. So we really would like to hear from you. So while, like we are speaking, like if you have any questions, do feel free to just put it into the chat. And as our special guest is sharing, I'll also be looking at the chat. I'll be looking at the Q&A to see like there's any relevant questions that I can help you to put forward to our guest. So as you can see, it's a bit different from the usual Zoom meetings. So like we won't be able to hear you or see you, but the way that you can interact with us is really through the chat, and also the Q&A box where you can also ask your questions as well. Okay, so definitely don't be shy, because like the whole objective of it, like I say, it's like a two-way street. We really want to be able to answer your questions, like there and there itself. And the other thing is also, like every maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So, like if those of you who are joining us for the first time, you are in luck, because every 4 to 6 weeks we'll invite a very special guest, like a celebrity, influencer. So, in the past we have had like Belinda Lee, we have had like Kate Pang, we have had like Yu Yi, and they have come on and really share their stories with us. So what we have heard from our participants, like is that you guys also like to hear like real life stories of how people have actually coped with, be it finding love, be it like going through difficult situations. And that's the reason why we also have a very special guest with us tonight, which I will introduce later. So okay, let's see who else do we have here with us tonight. We have Chong, who say that I'm new here. We have Natalie. Hi Natalie. We have Chuang Yi. Hi Chuang Yi. We have Unita. Yeah, so thanks guys, like for the shout out in the chat. So like I say, don't worry, even though you can't really see everybody else, but I say, just feel free to chime in at the chat, like I'll definitely be interacting with you as we go along. Okay, so I'd like to do a very quick introduction of myself, because like I say, we do have 1/3 of the room tonight who is actually joining us for the first time. So as you can see in my name, like in the Zoom box, right? So my name is Violet. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch Actually, also sometimes known as Chief Cupid. So I actually started the business 16 years ago with my then boyfriend, now husband. So the story is that, I was working in a bank and I saw that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. And I thought like, like how can I actually help them? And it was then that I came across the concept of lunch dating, which at that point is something that is very unusual in Singapore or even in Asia. But I thought it was something that would fit very nicely into the lifestyle of my colleagues, because I realized that they work really, really long hours. So I thought rather than just eating lunch with someone they already know, why not utilize their lunch hour to meet someone that they have never met before, and who knows, something might actually come of it. So that's actually how I got started 16 years ago. And of course, now we are in, let me see, 5 different locations. So other than Singapore, we are also in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. So at this point, okay, let's see, like roll call right now, right? So who's from where? Okay, let us know. Where are the ones from Singapore? Yes, so just write Singapore, like Malaysia. Yes, Jane, very fast. Jane got it. Jane said, I'm from Malaysia. Leo is from KL. Gladys is from Singapore. Hanifa is from Indonesia. Brandon from Singapore. Ethan, Singapore. Natalie, Jakarta. Sophia, Indonesia. Philip didn't tell us where he's from yet. Evelyn is from Singapore. Galaxy is from Hong Kong. Awesome. So, like I think everybody is represented here. Like, do we have anybody from Thailand here tonight? Yeah, so let us know. Okay, Philip is from Singapore. Yeah, so we are now in 5 different locations, and it has been really awesome, like working with singers from like definitely all around the region. And we have also have quite a number of dating products as well. So like we have Lunch Actually, we have eSing, we have Lunch Click. Anyway, so what I want to share is really about our matching philosophy. So like rather than just focusing on like helping people meet, which is like the dating platform, like dating apps and things like that, but we realize that helping people to be the right one and choose the right one is very important as well. So that's actually the reason why we invest so much of our time and resources on these weekly webinars, because we feel that other than helping you to provide you with that platform to meet another person, it's very important for us to help you be the best version of yourself as well. So that's the reason why we have been running all these weekly webinars. And so other than having matchmaking services where we arrange one-to-one dates for our busy working professionals like yourself, we also have date coaching and image coaching as well. So and recently we also launched our Lunch Actually app. So if you're interested in that, you can also check it out in the app store. Okay, so I see some of you saying like, hey, Violet, hurry up. I really want to get started already. I'm working, I really want to hear what we have for tonight. Okay, we are getting there, not to worry. Okay, so of course, it's like we have also prepared a special webinar gift for you, like, so do stay till the end, and then we will share with you the link to get this special webinar gift. And if you are new to us, do subscribe to our newsletter, do follow us on IG as well as Facebook to get all the latest updates on our webinar schedule and topics. Yes, so those of you who can't wait, right? Okay. So tonight's topic, we actually have invited a very special guest to share with us her personal story, and of course, like how to stay positive after a divorce and when to start dating again. So for those who are here tonight who have never been married before but have experienced a bad breakup, or you might have found it difficult to let go of your past emotional baggage, our special guest for tonight, she will also be sharing tips on how to get out of a difficult relationship, like through her own personal experiences. So we hope that the topic for tonight will actually give you the hope and also serve as an inspiration for you to walk out of any difficult relationship that you might be having right now. Of course, walk out stronger and better, and we are very confident that you'll be able to find someone even better and more suitable for you. Okay, so maybe a quick one. How many of you have had trouble getting over a breakup or a divorce in the past? Okay, so I'm just going to put out the poll right now very quickly. So you should see it right in front of you right now. So how many of you here have had trouble getting over a breakup or a divorce in the past? Okay. So like while you are answering, like maybe you can share with us also, in the chat, like what happened, like maybe just very short, like I don't have time for very, very long stories, but maybe you can just share very briefly with us in the chat as well. Okay, so a lot of you actually, I would say what I've seen here is 70% of our singles in the room, or the people in the room, say that they have had trouble getting over a breakup or divorce in the past. Okay, so I'm going to ask the next question right now. So how long did you take to actually fully move on? Yeah, I think this is also something that we get asked a lot, like sometimes singles will come to us and say that, oh, I've just broken up, or I've broken up for a while now, or even, I have some friends that they have broken up, with, their ex-partner, and it has been taking them a really, really long time to actually move on. So I would like to hear from the room, those of you who have mentioned just now that, yes, you have had trouble getting over a breakup or a divorce, like, so do share with us, how long did it take for you to fully move on? Okay, so thanks guys for participating. Like from what I see right now, it's quite long actually. So very few people actually take less than 1 month. Okay, so it's only 6%, and less than 3 months is 13%. Okay, so basically 20% of people like get over it in less than 3 months. Half a year or so maybe about 6 months, we have about 18%. Okay, and around a year is about 12%. Okay, so that is 30%. 30% of people say that it's about 6 months to a year. And the rest of the people in the room, so more than 1.5 years, is actually 30%. That's actually a huge number. And followed by 22% who say that I'm still not over it. So wow, okay. So I think, definitely I understand why so many of you have joined us for tonight. And, I'm also very happy and very thankful to have a special guest tonight, to really be sharing her personal story with us. And I hope that, her sharing can really, give us some inspiration, like I mentioned just now, on maybe some of the ways and strategies that we can actually move on after a difficult relationship. So thank you so much, guys, for participating in the poll and giving your very honest answer as well, because I know that must not have been easy. And, it's not exactly very fun to think about, like, something maybe not so happy. No matter how long it took for you to move on fully, I think the most important thing to remember is like you did it, and for those of you who still have not moved on yet, not to worry, like, the other part of the room, right? Like 80% of people, have shown that yes, it can be done. So, like hang in there. Okay, so for the small percentage of you who said that you are not over your last relationship, I just want to share with you that it is not uncommon, and we are definitely here to support you as well. So if we do have dating coaches that are trained and actually equipped to also work with singles on helping them to let go of their past relationship baggage. So if there's something that you might be interested in, do let us know as well, and we are happy to see how we can support you. So right now, I'm very, very excited to invite our guest speaker, our very special speaker for tonight, Celestia Faith Chong. Celestia, maybe you want to switch on your video. Yeah, there she is. Okay, so I hope all of you can see Celestia right now. So thank you so much, Celestia, for joining us tonight. So for all our participants
Thank
tonight,
you for having
please
me.
give her, yeah, you're most welcome. Please give Celestia the lunch actually welcome. Yay, so please say hello in the chat right now to welcome Celestia.
Hi, William.
Okay, so
Hi, Is.
yeah, so Celestia,
Hi,
she is
Jane.
very
Wow.
experienced. Yeah, she's very experienced in life. Yeah, so
So many.
she
Hi,
definitely
everyone.
will
I'm
be.
not
Yeah,
fast enough.
I told you, right, our audience is awesome. They are very, very warm
You're
and
very
very, very
warm-hearted.
welcoming. Yeah. So maybe Celestia, you want to start off by telling our audience tonight a bit more about yourself. Maybe you want to give a quick intro about who you are, what you do, and things
Sure,
like that.
sure. Right. I'm an entrepreneur, marketer, and I think most of people out there know me as an influencer. Although I'm a trained marketer and an image consultant, by the way. And my latest title from the beauty pageant side is representing Singapore as Mrs. Chinatown, and I won back the title as Mrs. Chinatown International All Nations, as well as the most beautiful skin for this pageant. And I'm a single mom. Happily a very happy single mom of 3 beautiful kids, and they are 10, 12, and 14. They are like my angels. So you always see me post on social media #Faith Angels. So I'm really glad today to be invited by you, to share about my experience, because I really believe that taking next step in life is really important, but it's really up to us whether are we going to move that next step, or whether or not it's going to be painful. It's a choice ultimately. But I'm really, really happy to share about my experience with everyone in this room. So please, today I'm open to all sorts of questions, relevant ones, of course. And once again, thanks, Violet, for having me.
Thank you, Celestia. Wow, you come in and you really bring with you, you're very positive, and great energy, immediately I can feel that the room has
and
lit
my
up.
laughter, y'all got bear with me, the laughter.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Yeah, so thanks Celestia for joining us. And I think what Celestia has mentioned just now, she's really happy to share with you guys. So as we go along, do feel free to ask questions. So I'll be posting your question to Celestia as we go along. So maybe Celestia, you can start off by sharing with us your story of about your relationship. How actually did you get into this relationship, and when it ended,
Right.
maybe just a brief timeline of what happened. And I think more importantly, it's we want to hear how did you cope with it when you first knew that it wasn't working out.
Right. Okay. Just a very brief of how this love story got started is, last time there wasn't such a thing. I think my era that I didn't know about lunch actually, or it didn't existed. Anyway, back then I actually known my ex-hubby through a dating website. Okay, so it's actually through a dating website, and we met up, and the notion was, yes, we want to start family, we want to get together. So in a year plus, less than 2 years, we have plans, we're planning to get married, and during the date very near to the wedding, I discovered, I was pregnant with my.
Oh no, I think we have lost Celestia. Okay, she's back. Okay, Celestia, we lost you for a bit just now. Oh no. Okay. You are mute. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, where was I just now? Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe you might need to start again. So sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay,
we
okay,
lost
no
you.
problem, no problem.
We lost you temporarily. Yeah.
Oh, oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay. So
Yes.
let me just rewind, play. So it's like this. How I actually okay. So how I know my ex-hubby was I wish I known, or I have lunch actually help back then. I was on a dating site and I'm going through a dating site. See?
Yeah.
So, during our first meetup, we kind of hit it off. It was a wonderful experience. And we started the dating on the notion that it will eventually lead to marriage.
Mm.
So we're together for a year plus, and then, marriage was in the cards. And then after that, the first kid came along. So every 2 years, so my kid, that's why my kids are like 10, 12, 14, because every 2 years the kids came along, and the marriage lasted for, say, like close to 9 years. It was about 8 years plus that I felt that I need to step out of the relationship because it's getting way too toxic. And yeah, so after that, it was a trying period because so the marriage actually ended in 2015, but the legal battle lasted for 2 years. So it wasn't a very not a very nice ending. So the whole completion of divorce ended in 2017, where we settled kids, the house, everything. Whoever that's in this situation, I'm sure you understand, the pain. So and yeah, so then from there, from 2015 to 2017, it was a hard time for me because at a point of time there was a stage whereby I was not coping very well, uh, to the state that I was having depression. I was in a depression for half a year without anyone realizing it. I didn't go to a doctor. I didn't want to worry my parents. I kept to myself to a point whereby I wanted to end my life, you know. But because there's this habit that when the kids are young, even until now, they slept beside me. All three kids are still in the same room. Although I got 4 bedrooms, right? But they're still on the same bed. Same room now is same room. Although there are 2 beds now, and yeah. So I what actually stopped me from ending my life back then was I was telling myself I love these angels way too much. I mean it's easy to bring them to this world, right? But to continue to be the mommy I could be for them, it takes a courage to stay alive to do it for them. I want to see them grow, and I want to see my grandchildren. So that actually stopped me that yes, it's easy to end my life, and it's way too selfish for me to do that. So yeah, that actually spurred me on that no matter what I do, I've got to think for my kids and not just give up. And I would say faith plays a huge part in walking with me. I have so I spend time, like talking to God, going to church, trying to find back myself. I was pretty lost, really lost at the point of time because I didn't really have close friends that I felt that I could close enough to talk to. And God is the only best friend that I have. So it's really, and through the whole journey, my mom asked me how I survived. I have no clue because I know that God sent me angels along the way. And when I'm down to my last dollar and when I'm down to my last drop of tears that I thought I couldn't move on, an angel will just come along. So I know that yes, God has his plans for me, and he has been kind to me even until to this day. So that's why I always tell myself, whether there's 2 sides of coin, would you want to choose to cry your way through the situation, or do you want to really smile your way through this situation? So I will like step out, when I'm feeling down, I will listen to sermons, like Joel Osteen sermons. I'm not promoting his sermons, but it does motivate me. Or I'll open a window, take a deep fresh of air, look at the clouds, look at the sky, telling myself to be grateful that, I'm actually gaining the next moment, for happiness, for joy, the next moment that I could kiss and hug my kids, the next moment that I can have my next favorite A5 Wagyu or oysters, So I have the next moment to do things that to make myself happy. And I have the next moment to also share to the person beside me who really needs it, to help people. Because since young, I mean, when I was young, I was in Salvation Army, so I started doing volunteer work young. So I learned. So there was this period where I was really going to do I did volunteer work very regularly because that's my therapy. That's my kind of therapy because I don't really exercise. I'm too lazy to exercise. So my therapy is I'm actually out there, we climb up and down the stairs, carrying stuff, distributing food to the elderly. So that's my that's my kind of therapy, by giving back and having faith when I have difficulties. Yeah, that's how I cope after to cope with the divorce pain.
Thank you, Celestia, so much for your very open sharing. Oh my goodness, it's like I cannot imagine, what you have gone through, and it's like that there's so much to it, and I think, like on behalf of the our participants tonight, right? I think I want to, find out a bit more, because I believe they have a lot of questions as well from what you have shared, and maybe some of them have also, like been through or is going through some of the things that you're going through, you have been through previously. So I mean, those of you who have any questions, like please feel free to put in the chat as well, and definitely I'll help to answer on your behalf. And I think, like those of you who have been very touched by Celestia sharing, like please let us know in the chat as well. I'm like, oh my goodness, when she's sharing, at some point I was having goosebumps, and like I'm just so thankful, Celestia, you're here with us tonight to just share, so deeply about this experience that you have gone through. So I mean, I just want to, go back a bit, right? So you mentioned that you were in this relationship for close to 9 years. So it was maybe
Yes.
about 8 years or so, you felt that, the relationship was really getting too toxic and you really need to step out. So, like maybe are you able to maybe illustrate a bit? Because I think sometimes, right, like especially you mentioned like you are a mom with like 3 kids, and then, I believe that at that point your kids are quite young as well. And I think, a lot of ladies, would find it quite difficult to actually take that step to leave that relationship. So how did you know that you need to make that step? Like what gave you the strength to do it, or like what were some of the red flags that you knew that this is really not going to work out?
Well, I think that the biggest telltale sign is I realized I wasn't happy. I think happiness is one thing. When you put two person together, you need to be happy, right? I found that I actually lose the reason to smile, despite the fact that I'm actually a very someone who love to laugh out loud, and I realized I got to force myself to do that. It's so painful, and I use that as a mask to actually camouflage myself, that hey, telling people around me that hey, look, I'm still happily married and I'm all right. I think everything is going to be fine. But I realized after using this laughter as a mask for years that it's not going to work, and I lose myself. I'm no longer doing things that I will make myself happy. I'm I'm doing things that I felt that I could sustain the marriage to make the other person happy much more. So I'm only doing things for the other person, and I don't get something back out of return. Yes, I've got my 3 kids, which they are actually the main reason why I was still married over this 8 years period, and they're the reason that kept me going. And actually what triggered me is I saw someone asking what does it mean by toxic. Toxic is as is I don't find that any positivity out the relationship anymore. It was, I felt so terrible about myself. I felt being put down. I never felt pretty about myself. It was, I always don't look beautiful enough. I always never do well enough. I'm always the worst mommy. I'm always the worst wife. I'm always the terrible employer to my partner. So I'm never held on the pedestal. I felt I was being trampled on, and I couldn't leave my head up high, despite the fact that people tell me, hey, Celestia, actually you're quite pretty. Hey, you're so capable. You're a wonderful mommy. But then it just came to a point whereby after 8 years that if everyone around me says that, including testimonials about his relative that says, hey, you know, Celestia, you really did a good job, about blah, blah, blah. If there is only one person that thinks that I'm the worst in the world, but the whole entire world, including his own relatives, says that I'm doing a good job, then I think the problem doesn't lie with me anymore, right? So I was thinking if that's the end. And also at the point of time, I was in a pageant. I saw there are more than 30 other husbands doing exactly things that what a partner would be doing. I was thinking, what am I missing out in life? Even if I'm not going to be with him, don't I deserve someone that will treat me right and lift me up? Because in one of the sermons by Joel Osteen, right? So if you are going to say, yeah, I'm going back to see my old lady, then what does that make of you? That makes you an old man, doesn't it? But if you're going to say, I'm going to go back and see my queen, so what does that make of you? So I'm the king, right? So, so to me, if it's someone that will outlive a partner, I think that's the person that I would want to be with eventually. If and to me, that's the kind of relationship, because we hold each other in pedestal. You are the king and I'm the queen. It should always be on this level. And when kids say that both daddy and mommy are actually happy together, then they will also be happy. Yeah, because it's actually quite depressing when I have to cry myself to sleep for many times a night. And I wouldn't want myself to be doing that until I grow old. And I thought that I must put a stop to it. I mean, I want that positive Celestia back, and if I don't make that first step, I think I'm already by the way, I'm announcing my age now. I'm already 43, okay? I'm not going to wait until I'm 50 years old and then I'm going to tell myself, I should have done this, I should have done this earlier, that kind of thing. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I should, because, I've been through life and death situation, something I didn't really share earlier, because my 3 kids, right? My first kid, my eldest son, he's got TGA condition, which means during the day 10 and day 14 as a baby, he had a heart bypass and ballooning. So it was traumatizing for me. I was telling myself, if he died, I'm going to die with him. And third kid, I almost died. I had 3 surgeries. I almost died while giving birth after giving birth to my third kid. So after 2 life and death situation, my kids are my everything. What is there to lose anymore? Since they are already there for me, and I have them, so I should break me out of this toxic relationship I'm talking about and move on. Yeah.
So Celestia, at that point where you decided to go for the divorce, how old were your kids at that point?
They were like, let me see. That was 5, 7, 9. They're still pretty young.
5, 7, 9. Yeah, still pretty young. So I'm sure it's not easy breaking the news to them. Were they able to absorb it? Were they able to understand it? I mean, again, because some of our participants tonight, they might be going through a similar situation, and maybe they're just worried about how am I going to share this news with my children. So maybe you want to just walk us briefly through how was that for you, and what is something maybe you have learned from that experience.
It took me at least 2 years to really get them centered on this issue, because I slowly tell them that, look, mommy and daddy is still going to love you like max. We are not going to love you any lesser, but we're just going to love you separately. Like mommy and daddy, we're going to stay at different places, and we are still going to love you. It's just that we'll not be going back. We will not be going out together. And to the fact that till to this day, my ex still sees them every single week. And if he ever requests for additional day, unless I have something planned on for them, I hardly say no. I always check from my kids. Do you want to spend more time with daddy this week? If you do, just go ahead. I have no problem with that, as long as it makes them happy. Because I think most important thing for me is I do not want the kids to be sandwiched. Because I think no matter what, the kids are innocent in a broken relationship, so they have to feel that they are loved, they are being respected in terms of their decision. And I never ask them that, oh, do you want mommy or do you want daddy? Do you love mommy more or you love daddy more? I don't ask questions that will tear them apart. Because the thing is, I promise them that they're still going to have a mommy and daddy. It's just a different logistic, the different logistic arrangement. That's all. Yeah, so they're not losing anyone. They're still being pampered both ends. They're still going to have their McDonald's with their daddy. They're still going to have the home cooked food with the mommy. So this they still have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I really love that, and I like the what you have shared with us, which is you do not want the kids to be sandwiched, because I think sometimes, like with a lot of divorces, it gets very ugly, and sometimes the people actually use the kids to kind of get back at each other. So obviously from what I'm hearing, that's definitely not what you're doing, and I think it's really good that both you and your ex-husband are really putting the kids as the a most important thing. Like you say, at the end of the day, you want them to still have their mommy and their daddy, and I think that's really great advice for anybody out there, who might be going through a similar situation. So I think the other part that you share is like, okay, so even though the relationship ended in 2015, and that's where you filed for divorce, but everything only kind of finalized in 2017. So you mentioned to us just now that, yeah, between like 2015 to 2017, you had a really hard time, like you were not coping well, and in fact you actually fell into depression. And I think you did
Yeah.
mention as well, like actually maybe people didn't even knew it. So when did you know that you actually have fell into depression?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, I knew it when I couldn't smile anymore, and I was at a certain time, because I'm on social media, certain times I really don't feel like posting. I couldn't find any inspiration, because I'm very mindful about my posting. I try not to emit negative vibes, or even if I shared about my challenges, I ultimately put it into a sharing session is, oh, this is the challenges that I met, what I did to counter it and what I've learned from it. So I hardly do a total like a ban out post. So I realized I couldn't do it like consistently anymore. I couldn't smile. I cry myself to sleep. um I was, during media events, I was quite antisocial. It's like I was there, but I was not there. I wasn't happy even if I was smiling, but I was forcing myself to smile. It becomes I forced myself in a routine that I wasn't ready to. It's like I couldn't even feel happiness. I was basically draining myself out. Every day is a drag. And yeah, so I wasn't happy with anything, even if I had my favorite food. I'm a very food motivated person. It's like, if I take good food, you'll make me like, oh, today I felt like, oh, fresh oysters. I must have my fresh oysters. You'll make me happy. So at that point of time, even I take fresh oysters, it doesn't make me happy. So so it comes to the point whereby whatever stimulus that I want, I that will usually make me happy doesn't work anymore. And I was trying to make everyone around me feel that I'm okay. Hey, chill, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm still laughing. My mom didn't know about it. So everything, I'm okay. No one thinks that I'm having issues until when everything was over, I step out of it. That people, oh, were you? Yes, I was. So I'm the type whereby the more depressed or more sad that I am, or when I'm in a greater challenges, right? My way is I will smile more. I will overly smile more, and I will drain myself out by giving and giving and giving and giving. Means I will find ways to go and do all the volunteer work. I'll find ways to help, find ways to give back, help those who need it. So yeah, so indirectly that also helped me, because when I try to give and give and give, right, I I snap out of it, because when I give, I receive indirectly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
nice.
that's my own therapy, like, I listen to
Yes.
sermons, and I try to help those in need. So that's my kind of therapy. Yeah. So everyone
Yes.
has different therapy for themselves, right? Some maybe they'll swim or whatever, but no, mine is really, giving back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like what Celestia has shared with us is like, of course, like we have our own problems, but I think what has really worked for her is like when she helped others with their problems and giving back, and that's how she slowly managed to get out of it. So okay, I mean, I just like to read some of the great comments that we have hear from our participants so far. So we have Irene who say agree with
Sure.
Celestia doing charity. That's what she's doing right now as well. Sunny say, good to note that you stay positive despite your setbacks in your relationship. By the way, I thought you are 32 years old. Woo. I'm impressed how
Thank
young you look.
you.
Stay young always.
Thank you. Blowing
Yeah,
kisses already.
Purple say, yeah, Purple say, Celestia is great and amazing. Yeah, I totally agree. So, we have a comment
Thank you,
here from
Purple.
JY. JY say, I feel to leave the relationship even though it was toxic. In the end, my fiance dumped me and it made me felt much sadder. 6 months now and I still struggle with this. I feel like no man want me anymore and I'm worried about how am I going to find someone else that's better than my ex. Celestia, what do you think? What advice do you have for JY?
She got dumped. Okay. But okay. I think it doesn't matter who dumped who ultimately, because I really feel that for every relationship that's not meant to be, right, God has planned someone better for you, because that relationship is never meant to be. It's better for a person to dump you now than dump you when you're 60 years old, right? Then you got 60 years old. Sorry, a bit drama. But okay, but the thing is that I always feel that if God going to take away someone, He will give you someone better because you deserve it. Because every one of us is created special. So we should never ever discredit ourselves in any sense, We should always tell ourselves that it's okay. It's always a loss, because you know what? You're going to dump me now. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to more mass. I'm going to do more creative things to release more endorphins in my body to make myself more youthful. I'm going to make my life more colorful, because without you, I don't have to tell, hey dear, today I'm going where, can or not? Hey dear, sorry, I got a spend time. I cannot go party with my friends, because now without you, I can do everything. And guess what? It's more beautiful. So forget about that guy. All right. Start something new. If someone comes along, don't give up hope in love and relationship. Trust me. I have tried to date so many people that I cannot count. Okay. And there'll always be sucky people around. There will always be sucky people around, and everyone is a learning is a learning experience. Okay. You can't we can't read everyone's mind. Whether you know that someone through lunch, actually you know that someone through Bumble or Tinder or whatever, or someone recommended you, they might come to you for a gender at the start that's all mass. They're the perfect gentleman, and you feel, oh my god, he's the one. But the moment it really takes time to know someone. So don't be afraid to try, and don't discredit yourself if things don't go out right. Just tell yourself, well, too bad. The next better one is going to come along. So don't give up, okay?
Yeah,
because you have Violet here for you.
Thank you so much, Celestia. So I totally agree with what Celestia have said, and I love what she have said, that make yourself even better. And definitely, even though I have not known Celestia for very long, but like I do, like I've seen some of her past posts, right? And I totally agree, she looks even better now than ever before. Yeah. So I think I totally agree with her that is the person's loss, and like what she have said, that there's always someone better better out there for you, Celestia, like she's mentioned, she's a believer, I'm a believer too. I agree that, like God has a plan for us. So don't worry about it, JY. Like, don't give up hope. 加油, 加油. Okay.
加油, 加油. We'll pray for you,
Berlin
okay?
say, I feel exactly, yeah. Berlin say, I feel exactly like what Celestia have shared. Makina says, so proud of you. The strong power of being a woman and a great mother. Yay, I agree. Okay,
Yay, thank
let's
you,
see
woman
what
power.
other. Yeah. Let's see, do you have any other questions? Okay, so I'm just going to open up the Q&A box because I believe maybe some questions might have come out in the Q&A box. Okay, so
Okay.
let's see. Okay. Is it advisable to start another relationship while you are such capability in everything? Not sure what the question is exactly. Maybe the person who have asked this question, Chong, you want to elaborate a bit further because I don't really get the question you're asking. Okay, so good question here from an anonymous attendee. So the question is, how does a relationship turn toxic when both parties were so much in love at the beginning? I think that's a good question. So Celestia, what
Mm.
do you think?
Well, I think at the end of the day, right, humans being humans, we are created with that endorphins and adrenaline. When you meet each other, you have chemistry. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, he's so handsome. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, she's so gentle. It all started with, you having good impression with each other. But so really after time that you start to know someone, that gradually it becomes toxic because there can be many reasons. Like, you started taking each other for granted. You reveal your true self, because when you first know someone and you want to impress, it's like when you go interview, you usually wear a jacket suit and usually don't do your nails, and you do your nails, right? It's the same thing. After some time you stop trying to impress, right? Then you start to think, hey, why now she stopped doing her manicure when I love her manicure at the start? Hey, why now she put lesser makeup when she's me? Hey, last time you were very tight fitting and sexy one, leh. How come now different already? Then after that you start to, hey, why that time he will shave? Now the mustache all over, don't want to shave, the hair don't want to cut. Last time wear like Richard Gere, now don't know wear like what, So sometimes humans change. And also I also believe in about the commitment to the other party. It's really, sometimes it's not because we all grow old, doesn't it? And let's think, if you are actually with this person and you want to go with this person, right? Aesthetic, yes, is a point. We need to, of course, keep up, don't look like yellow face auntie or some haggard old man ultimately. But I think the relationship should always be built on communication, trust, respect, commitment, responsibility. It should be based on crucial factors rather than physical. And of course, physical does play a part, that ultimately you need to reproduce, right? So physical does play a part, whether you even want to kiss that person or not, for a start, So that's realistic. But when it comes to getting together, in a marriage, you start to know each other living habits, So it's about compromising with each other, understanding that, you'll probably kill her if you're going to leave your clothes lying around, or you hang your clothes for the week over there without doing your laundry. And it'll probably kill you when she goes to toilet, she doesn't leave out the toilet seat for you, So there are actually a lot of things that that the couple needs to do together. I wouldn't say that the man must do this, the ladies must do this, but it's actually mutual commitment, responsibility as a couple. It's never ever one-sided. But when it becomes loop-sided, then the relationship will start to go haywire. And many a time in marriage, right, that's what happened. It's either the man or the women take for granted, or they actually forgotten the commitment and the responsibility of a relationship. They start to wander off. They start to find alternative that shouldn't be happening. So so that's my answer for the question.
Thank you, Celestia. Yeah, I totally agree with you that I think some of the challenges, like what Celestia have mentioned, is first and foremost, of course, like during the courting stage, everybody is giving their 100, 150, 200%. So it might give some unrealistic expectations, of what is soon to come. Lah. But I mean, the truth of the matter is also, I mean, people cannot keep up with the courting stage forever, because like that is the beginning, right? I mean,
Exactly.
but a relationship, it's a very long time. And I also agree with what Celestia have said. Sometimes, we tend to take each other for granted, or, like the true colors start to come out, and like maybe there were a lot of, yeah, like the sound effect, and the incompatibility of values, like maybe that wasn't realized, before that. So, Celestia, actually, like, as we go along, more and more questions are coming in. So, I will ask maybe a couple more questions, but maybe let's keep our answers a bit short and sweet, lah,
Okay,
because we want to
sure,
get
sure.
through more questions. Okay, so we
No
have one
problem.
question here from Angie.
Mm-hmm.
So Angie say, is it often harder to get over a first relationship? And because maybe a first love, first relationship, and then maybe being stuck in a vicious loop of like how sweet the person was when things were good and things like that. What do you think?
First relationship, wow, you're talking about 初恋.
Like truly and yeah.
Not everyone fortunate like you, Violet. Okay, let's do it that way. I think everyone have our fair share of 初恋, but it's ultimately it's good to keep as sweet memories. Not I don't see, I even if it's unforgettable, then remember it as sweet, because it's sweet memories, doesn't it?
Hmm.
It
So
shouldn't be
so just
painful.
so
Yeah.
so just remember it as
Remember the
sweet, but
beautiful part of it.
yeah, but
Yes.
don't like keep
Like a
dwelling
beautiful,
on it
sweet
lah.
piece of cake. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I agree. So don't keep dwelling on it lah, because I think sometimes we also realize that we tend to always remember all the good things, right? But usually why a relationship didn't work out, there's also the bad things. So I think to also put both of them into perspective. Okay, so
Yeah.
another question here from anonymous attendee. So the question is, do you find it tougher to date in your 40s, being a divorcee with kids?
No, not exactly. To be honest, I enjoy aging because when you age, one, you tend to know what you want. In Singaporean term, right? You know exactly which pattern you can tahan, which pattern you cannot tahan. You know which pattern you can grow old with, because ultimately I want someone that can grow old with, and someone that respect me and love my kids at the same time. So yes, age like fine wine, Singaporean language collect. Yeah, so I think I don't find it a challenge, because uh I always feel that, like what the person say is like fine wine. We have a lot of life experience, and life experience means that we can hold a conversation much more better than those in the 20s and 30s. Yeah, we enjoy
Agree.
we enjoy we enjoy doing, I mean, the kind of experience you have your 40s ladies is also very different. When it comes to conversation, um ladies in our 40s, we know how to take care of our partner way better, because we know human needs so much better. And thirdly, uh we know how to enjoy uh the other part of the life better as well, the sexual part better too. So
Mm.
all in all, in terms of relationship wise, right, a matured lady is definitely, I think it's a yeah and not a nay. There's a
Mm.
certain charm, just like Richard Gere. The more he age, the more charming he gets, doesn't it?
Yeah, agree. Thank you, Celestia, for that. Another question here. Do you have any regrets that you can share? Like, so maybe, specific to this relationship, or maybe just,
Mhm.
like, yeah, in your, I guess, like, relationship in general, I guess. Do you have any regrets that you can share?
Great.
Or maybe looking back, would there be anything that maybe you might have done differently? Or,
Mm, I would I don't know. I wouldn't say I have any real regrets, because I think God gifted me with the personality that I always believe that 人之初性本善. I always believe humans are kind. So I always, many a times, I always feel that, oh yeah, that guy is all right. But end up, when I start knowing that guy, I will feel that I will ultimately know that that person is with me not for the real agenda, but for a different agenda. So, but it's okay. It's a learning experience. I'll just take it as, yes, that's God's plan, that I've got to go through this. Be smarter the next time, a better person will come along. So I wouldn't say regret. There's definitely hits and misses in life. We definitely need to, see through, because at the end of the day, we just need one partner. We definitely need to see through, and then, go through some partners first before we eventually meet our Mr. Right. And for me, I've dated quite a few. So currently dating now. So that's why I know, yes, that, yeah, some are for keeps and some are not for keeps.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so like time always flies when you are having fun. So it's actually at 9:54 right now. So like
Wow.
what have you guys learned from Celestia tonight? Let us know in the chat, like what is your biggest takeaway that you have taken away from Celestia sharing tonight? Yes, please let us know, because I always say that in our sharing every day, right? I mean every week, we do not want it to just kind of be like, oh, you're just listen 1 year in and then 1 year out. We really want to know that you have concrete takeaways, like action plans that you're going to be taking. Yeah, so let us know in the chat right now. Yeah, and at the same time, I also want to, while you share with us, right, I also want to let you know that our special gift for tonight, our special webinar gift for tonight is an ebook that is called The 5 Horses of Apocalypse, which is basically, I think, very relevant to what we are talking about tonight, which is, what to avoid when you're having an argument with your partner. Okay, so if there's something you are interested to get, you can just go to the link that we're going to put out right now, or you can also contact us at love@lunchactually.com with your contact details. And also, while you guys are putting out, all the things that you have learned tonight, I also want to, do a shout out for Celestia. So, Celestia, like I'm sure, all our participants tonight, they have learned lots from you. Like all of it is coming in right now. So if they would like to, get to know you better, they want to, follow you, how can they do so?
Well, just follow me on my Facebook or IG, and just look for my name, Celestia Faith Chong. You can Google me anytime and you can just find me. I'm all over online.
Yes, I agree. Really, it's true. Yeah, Celestia is like, like the OG, like OG influencer. Like she started vlogging type, like IG is to her, it's like, yeah, no problem. Okay, so let me just share some of the learnings that you guys have seen. Okay, so Sin say never wait to do things that you like. Evelyn say never give up in meeting the right person. Jane say don't give up, remain hopeful, and someone better is out there for sure. And then Raj says start dating with marriage in okay, interesting. Raj say maybe start dating with marriage in mind is not a good idea. Okay, maybe I think that's because Celestia, you mentioned when you were dating your ex-husband.
Yeah.
Okay, then Gordon say surprised to see Celestia, my friend here. Nice. Sophia say
Hi,
I learned that
Gordon.
happiness is an important thing to have in a relationship. Yeah, totally. So I think what Sophia is saying, based on what Celestia mentioned, that when she realized that like she doesn't feel happy anymore, like nothing makes her happy anymore. Yeah, so definitely like a relationship, I mean it's give and take, but definitely if you feel no happiness in a relationship, like that's definitely a very big red flag. Purple say her positivity is really great, keep it up, Celestia.
Thank you, Papa.
And then Makina say, oh, always remember self-love no matter what happened.
Yes.
Jane say, don't be afraid to leave a toxic relationship. Jane say take time to
That's
learn
right.
about someone. Awesome. Yeah. So thanks guys, like for sharing what you have learned tonight. And I also like to take this opportunity to, of course, thank Celestia for coming onto our show tonight
Thank
and
you.
sharing so openly and deeply of a very personal journey. But I think, as you can see, like a lot of people definitely have learned so much from your sharing tonight. And another one have just came in.
Thank
Christopher
you.
say, give yourself a second chance in life, learn new things.
Yes.
So super awesome. So thanks Celestia. So all the best,
Thank you.
like very
Thank you,
happy to
Violet.
hear that you're currently dating, like keep us updated. Yeah. And like maybe in who knows, a couple of months or a couple of sessions later, you can come on and share more things on how you have found love again, and I'm sure our participants will definitely benefit from your sharing.
Yeah, I would love to. Okay, I'll just cross my fingers. Anyway, thank you, Violet, and thank you everyone for listening in. I hope that by sharing my experience, it has made your evening much more fulfilling. So feel free to PM me on my Facebook or IG at Celestia Faith Chong, and I'll be happy to connect further with you. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your night. All right, and I'm going to see you guys soon. Take care. Good night.
Okay, thank you, Celestia.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so
Bye.
as
Okay, let
you
me
have
just close it.
okay, so guys, as you see, we are actually having another webinar next week. Yes, because ours is a weekly webinar. So for our next week webinar, we are going to have a dating experts rule on dressing up for love. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Basically, I think we always say that putting your best foot forward is very important when it comes to finding love. So like how should you dress? How should you groom yourself when going on your first date? So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And as usual, it's going to be something that's very interactive and fun. It's not just going to be us droning on and on. So if there's something that you're interested in, on how you can actually, dress up better, like to put on your best foot forward, do join us for our webinar next week. And of course, we also have our webinar for our Indonesian singers as well. So I believe just now I saw quite a number of you have said that you're actually from Jakarta or you're from Indonesia. So you can also join us next Wednesday. So it will be conducted in Bahasa Indonesia. And then we have a special guest who is a certified adult clinical psychologist. And the topic will be on different personality types and how to identify psychopaths. Yes. So yes, so please feel free to sign up for the 2 upcoming webinars next week. And if you have missed out on any of our webinars in the past weeks, you can also just go to lunchhd.com/webinar to get a copy of our past webinars. Okay, so and I think tonight we are quite good. I managed to answer a lot of the questions that you all have asked in the Q&A box. And then I think like you guys have like been asking all the chats as well. Okay, so don't forget to claim your special webinar gift. Okay, so maybe we can just put out the link here again. So do claim your special webinar gift, and then do sign up for our upcoming webinars. And I will probably, okay, let me see. Yeah, so Chris have just put that out again. Okay, so yes, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse sounds very cool, right? The name, yeah. But actually, the idea is really about how to quarrel, because I think a lot of people have asked me as well. They say, oh, like you and your husband, do you guys actually fight and things like that? And I usually tell them that, of course we do. It's like a lot of times they say, oh, you guys always seem so happy. Like, do you actually fight? But I always say that it's not so much about whether you fight or how often you fight, but honestly, it's really about how you fight. Yeah, so in this ebook, we'll be sharing with you about what are the things to avoid, what are the things that you should avoid at all costs when you're fighting, because this person who actually coined this term, so his name is John Gottman. So he said that he just need to listen in on a couple fight for for like 10 minutes, and he's able to predict whether they are going to get divorced. Yeah, so it's so deadly that if you have, these four things when you're fighting, the chances of you getting a divorce is like really big. So definitely, get a copy of this ebook. I think it's going to be very beneficial for you if currently you're in a relationship, or like as you go along in your future relationship, or maybe it's a very good way for you to reflect on your past relationship as well. So chances are, some of these things probably would have popped up in your past relationship. Okay, and so we have been streaming our tonight's webinar on Facebook. So just want to say bye to our Facebook crowd, and we do not stream it every week. So if you have enjoyed tonight's webinar and you would like to be part of our future webinars, so just sign up for our webinar at lunchhd.com/webinar. So I'm just going to stop streaming.